Hi everyone! Today I wanted to share two new concealers that I recently found at the drugstore. I've been testing these out for I'd say about a week and a half now, so I wanted to share how these concealers perform on my mature 50-year-old under eye skin. And if you've seen one of my previous videos and you know that I am technically living on a cruise ship for about 3 months, you're probably thinking, wait, how on earth did you go shopping at the drugstore if you're on a cruise ship and you're traveling to different countries? Well, we are doing not just one cruise for 3 months, we are doing multiple cruises back to back to back to back to back. So when our cruise ship stops back in the United States, then I'm able to get off and, you know, go roam around and do whatever and then hop back on the ship. So we were in Galveston, Texas about a week and a half ago. That's where the ship went back to. And so I had about a day and a half actually to shop. And so I went to CVS, Walgreens, Target. So I did buy a lot of products. I'm still testing some of them. Some of them I already know I do not like at all. But the two that I wanted to share are these two new concealers, one from Physicians Formula and one from Revolution. But really quickly, before I share my thoughts on these concealers and to see if maybe these might work for you, and I'll do a little demo with these as well, I will share with you one product that I do think is absolutely horrible. And I have this on today. I've been testing this quite a few times and I just cannot get it to look pretty at all on my skin. This is the new Neutrogena Mineral UV Tint Face Liquid SPF 30. They have a few different shades. I got the medium shade, which I think is maybe a little too light for my skin. I could probably use the darker one or mix them, but it's not even the shade that I don't like. What I don't like is when I put it on my face, and I might have some footage of me trying it on, but then I just said, scratch this video. It was looking awful. But when I put this on my face, it's kind of greasy, it's kind of shiny, and so I wait a while thinking, okay, it'll dry down. Let me just zoom in some so you can see. It like makes me look like I have really deep pores. I guess my blush is a little blotchy, but I don't know, I feel like it looks really textured all around here, and I don't really deal with, golly Sherry, what have you done with your blush today? You know what, it's not the blush. I realize what it is. It's this. It's so like greasy, so no matter what products I'm putting over top, it's kind of making them do this, get all, I don't know, splotchy looking. I just think this is a terrible product. I mean, I hate to say that, I hate to do like super negative reviews, but for me, for my skin, I think this is quite terrible. And I think this was kind of pricey too. I mean, I did get it at Walgreens. I think I got this at Walgreens. So of course Walgreens is a little more pricey than Target or Walmart, but I think it was like $16 or $17. I do like the size of the package, I will say that, but let me just show you how messy this is. Like I said, I've only been using this a week, but it leaks out everywhere, even with this lid on. Oh, I don't know, let me know. Have you guys tried this? Does it work on your skin? For my skin, I think it's quite terrible. So I know that there's no concealer out there that is going to be magical in perfection at, you know, 50 years old. But I do get excited when I find a new concealer that I quite like and that minimally creases and cracks underneath my eyes throughout the day, and that offers a medium to full coverage to help, you know, cover up any of that dark circles or to help disguise that little hollowness area. So I will go ahead and just tell you I do like both of these, but the first one I actually like better. This is the Physicians Formula. This is their Butter Glow Concealer. Actually, I have the packaging. I'll read to you what it says. This says it is a long-wearing, multi-use radiance boosting concealer that delivers buildable, flawless coverage and awakens the skin by concealing any imperfections. And their marketing claims on it are very true. It is very smooth, it is very creamy, and it does give that really pretty radiance to the under eyes. It's not mattifying, it's not flat, it doesn't look dried out and crepey. It's actually quite hydrating and moisturizing. It has all those natural butters in it, like their whole butter line, their butter bronzer, their butter eyeshadows. And I will say, typically I don't like any of their butter products. I like their butter bronzer, but the scent of it is just too intense. And of course, this does have the fragrance in it, so I really thought I wasn't gonna like it at all. Now, of course, the fragrance is yummy. It smells like you're on a tropical vacation. I would rather it just be fragrance-free because I don't want to put all that fragrance around my eyes. But I will say I've been using this now for, I guess, about a week, and it doesn't bother my under eyes at all. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of that NYX, is it their serum concealer? But I know a lot of people like that one. I don't really like that serum concealer. me zoom in so that you can see this better. This shade is too light for me, by the way. I got the shade, I think this is light to medium. So once I get back to a drugstore, I'll have to get a little bit darker shade, but I'll show you in a second how I make this work perfectly under my eyes. But of course it's still wet because I just put it on. But do you see the beautiful radiance this gives? Once this dries down, this will still have this really pretty radiance to it. And do you notice how full coverage this is? Just a little bit of this spreads so far. Actually, when I put it on today, I hadn't used it for a couple days in this demo, so I forgot how pigmented this was and how a little bit is all you need. But what's nice about it is since it is so kind of radiant and creamy, it's very forgiving, so I could just pat off the excess. I'll just put a little dot on just so you can see, because I don't know yet what my footage of what the demo looks like. I was having some lighting issues when I was doing the demo. Did you see that little teeny dot that I just put on? Just because I want to show you, plus because I already have makeup on, but I just want to show you how far this spreads. Isn't that really pretty? Of course, this is just a little too light for me. I'm gonna get the darker shade. So what I do, if you remember a video I just did recently, I shared another color corrector, an orange color corrector, and a lot of you said, well, just get the LA Girl one. You can pick it up at the drugstore. So I thought, let me try the LA Girl orange color corrector. If you don't know what video I'm talking about, I'll put a card up here and link it up here, and I show in detail how I blend my concealers with this product to completely change the undertone of them. Or if they're too light of a concealer, I just add a smidge of this and it will make the concealer blend well with my skin. This, since it's so highly pigmented, this is almost identical to the Ruby Kisses one that I showed in my previous video, and it just really makes this work. So it's okay now if I don't have to stress about, oh my gosh, what shade should I get? If I do get a shade that's a little too light, no worries. I just put the teeniest dot of this orange color corrector. It will help neutralize that shade and even add that color correction to my under eye area. Out of all my concealers, this one ranks really high up there. If this was fragrance free though, I don't know, it potentially could be a holy grail concealer, but this is really nice. So if you happen to see this in your drugstore, you might want to try it out, especially if you have kind of drier under eye area and you're looking for something that gives you a medium to full coverage with that really pretty radiance that doesn't get all dried up and cracky under your eyes. This one's really pretty for that. And then this is the other one by Revolution. Now, I really like this one, but this is not my first choice over the Physicians Formula. This is the new oil-free plus Vetox. I'm not sure what Vetox is. I'll have to look that up. But this is the 16-hour IRL Filter Finish Soft Matte Concealer. That's a long name. I got the shade C5 in this one. It's a little light for me, but this one is actually more mattifying. So this is not one that I love all the way underneath my eyes because it reminds me a lot of Tarte Shape Tape that I can't just pile Tarte Shape Tape on underneath my eyes because it will get, you know, just at 50 years old, even though I have normal to oily skin, my under eye area is not oily. My under eye area is normal, sometimes dry or dehydrated. So using these drying type of mattifying concealers sometimes don't look that pretty underneath our under eyes when we're my age and older. And by the way, I'm noticing my lipstick, my liner is really dark on my top lip, but that's okay. Oh, I'll show you what I have on my lips. I'm testing something new. If it doesn't look like what I normally wear, that's why. I am wearing my Mented lip liner now. I do love this lip liner, but probably not with what I put on. And I'm using this Wet n Wild matte lipstick. This is in the shade, what does this say? This is in the shade, I think it says Bear It All. This is a really pretty shade. And I think I'm gonna put some more on. This is a really pretty kind of peachy nude shade, but the reason my lips were looking a little, I don't know, kind of 1990-ish, where is it? Here it is. I bought this. I've bought this before, but I don't know, I just love these kind of pearlescent shades. I'll show you. It's this that's making it look kind of like white and 1990-ish, so you know, we're just gonna go with it for this video. I think if I try a darker shade of this Revolution concealer, I think I would really like it for my face. Like if I have a blemish or to cover up some of my melasma, I think it would look really nice, because since it does have kind of like that soft matte finish to it, it would stay put and look really nice on the face. However, I do quite enjoy this under my eyes. Again, I think I got a little bit too light of a shade, but I love, love, love this applicator tip. I think the shape of it is really nice and easy to use. But what I like for this is not all the way under my eyes. Say I feel like I need a little more brightness underneath my eyes, I'll just put a little dot, I'll put a little more underneath my eyes here, and then just kind of blend it in. Now I won't go all the way over because I don't want that dryness, the mattifying effect to be all under my eyes, but I just kind of do this little dark center part and just lightly blend it out. You know, it's not even that noticeable when I put it on, but what I like about this, it's not as drying as Tarte Shape Tape. I'll put a little on this side, but what I feel like this does, if you are trying to get away from setting your under eyes with powder, I feel like this sets itself. It's almost like it has a powder built in it without having to have that chalky, powdery dust all underneath your eyes. But again, same thing with this product. It's okay that it's a little too light because when I'm applying it, I can add the teeniest dot of this little color corrector and then mix it with this, and it turns it into the perfect shade. So I feel like now, when in doubt, when I'm purchasing a concealer, because you know, it's not like there's testers for the most part at the drugstore. So when in doubt, I'll go one shade a little bit lighter than what I'm thinking I should be, so that this way I don't have to return it, because this will pretty much make every concealer turn into the perfect shade. It won't turn it into the perfect concealer overall, but this will make it the perfect shade. So that's it. I just wanted to share with you these two new concealers that I picked up at the drugstore. I'm actually kind of surprised that in one big shopping trip, I was able to pick up two concealers that I do really, really like for my under eyes. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.